Do you ever feel like all of the books you read are because of Book Talk or BookTube or because they're just super popular? Well, I feel that way about literally every single book I read. So today I wanted to put to the test if I read sort of underhyped books or books that I haven't seen talked about before, if they were still good in my opinion. So that is what we did. I read a total of 3 books for this week and put them to the test on if underhyped books are still worth it or not. Okay, starting off this underhyped books challenge, I'm going to be reading Joint Custody by these 2 authors. I read the back and I think they're a mother-daughter duo, which is adorable. Seen this at half price today and this looks like my dog, so I got it. And I read the back not knowing anything about it and it sounds so cute. This is why I love going to used bookstores, because you find so many books that you haven't seen before. It kind of sparked the idea for this video, reading books I haven't seen anything about, forming my own opinions, and seeing basically if these books that Book Talk doesn't really hype up are worth it or not. So I'm so excited to read this. The premise, it is told from the dog's perspective. So stinking cute. The dog lives with a guy and a woman, and it seems like they went through a divorce or something because they have joint custody of the dog, and the dog is trying to get them back together. It started off him trying to get them back together, and we are in the past now where their relationship first started, learning about that, and it is really cute and good. I am 46 pages in and I'm liking it. I like how it's told from the dog's perspective. Obviously, no one really knows how a dog thinks, so it's a little higher up than what a dog would think, you'd think, but I'm still really liking it, and it just reminds me of my dog, so yeah. Good morning. Day 2 update. I'm on page 100 and I don't really have much to say. It's kind of just the dog trying to push them together and them both trying to move on. I'm not sure if this is just gonna be a no plot, just vibes type thing. That's kind of what I'm getting right now. Hello. I'm on page 150. I don't really have any updates. It's going decent. Nothing too much plot-wise has happened. Again, the dog is just trying to push them together. I'm curious to see if it's gonna work in the end or not. I'm hopefully gonna finish this now. I have 100 pages left. Okay, I'm on page 190 now, and it's getting cute. That's all I gotta say. The quote, "See, even after all these months, even though they'd broken up, she was still number 1 on his speed dial. She'd always be his number 1. I'm gonna think on a rating. It didn't end how I thought it would, but I still liked the ending. Okay, I'm deciding on my next read for this video. I look like a ghost. I am between Love and Other Great Expectations and Matchmaker Summer. Both of these are summery, and I literally start school tomorrow, so I'm I need to read these. I feel like I'm not really into the mood for this one. It's a summer campy one. This one sounds interesting. Something about she goes to the UK and goes on this scavenger hunt thing. I'm gonna try this one first, and if it doesn't work out, we will switch to this one. And both of these, I went on a massive rampage at Target.com, and I just searched summer romance books, summer YA romance books, and these were recommended. I looked them up on Goodreads, and each only has 1,000 reviews and ratings, so I figured they'd be perfect for this video. First things first, I I wish like all hardcovers had like a design on the cover, you know what I mean? The spine's pretty though. Okay, a little update on what the book's about. I've literally read one chapter, but I feel like the author did a good job of like telling us what's gonna happen and how. It's obviously far-fetched and like would never happen, but basically a certain group of students were chosen to go on this like scavenger hunt to look for certain literary things in the UK, and something about they can win a big chunk of change. And our main girl, she got injured in soccer, so she can't like play anymore, so now she can go on this trip, I guess. So okay, one thing that's kind of annoying me is the main character. She is just like really just blunt and will say anything and just has to be the center of everything. They were saying how there is going to be kind of like chaperones with them when they are on these scavenger hunts, because I mean, hello, they're teenagers in London. Someone was talking about that and she said like a babysitter. I'm like, honey, you could have just sat there and listened. And she just like questions everything. Like, you have 9 days, I expect you to hand in your journals on the morning of July 7th. She says a set date, it's not a race. And then someone says, no, the first to finish doesn't mean they win. She says, what's the fun in that? Like, just shut up. You were invited on this trip and have the chance to win $100,000 and you're just talking crap about everything that's going on. Oh my god, I just read ahead. So her chaperone just introduced herself to our main girl. She says, hi, I'm Alexis, I will be accompanying you. And then our main girl says, it's okay, you can say babysit. I can tell you totally used the same word yourself. Girl, just chill. Good morning, it's me. Same spot. I got to only to page 24. I'm hopefully gonna make a dent in this today, so let's go. Hello, a little update. I am page 88. It's actually going pretty good. It's pretty interesting and it's really fast paced actually. I'm a little confused though because so the like scavenger hunt they're doing around the UK, there's 8 clues I think, and they have 9 days to complete it. We're like already on clue 3 or 4 and I'm on page 88, so I'm like, what is the rest of the book gonna be about? But we'll see. I'm gonna keep reading. But like one thing about this is they're talking about like these like classic books. I know nothing about classic books. Like I literally read YA books about scavenger hunts, you know? Hey, I feel like I'm doing terrible at this video, like updating you guys, but genuinely the books I've read, like there's nothing to update on. Like still the same things happening. I can't really say it, you know. I'm about halfway, page 165, and it's okay. I mean, I'm not really loving it. The romance plot is definitely starting to develop and I'm not super loving the characters. I don't know, like I'm just not loving them. I talked at the beginning of this book how I wasn't loving the girl and thought she was kind of annoying. I don't really feel that way anymore about her, but I'm just not clicking with them, I guess. I also feel like I'm kind of in the mood for a fantasy, but I'm reading the exact opposite of one. But I'm liking this, it's cute. Hopefully gonna finish it tomorrow. I made it one chapter and I'm like about to fall asleep, but I think it just clicked on like what isn't really working for me with this story. I feel like it's kind of Wattpad-y, not like to diss Wattpad. I literally read on there religiously, like when the teachers were like in class 15-minute reading time, I was literally reading on Wattpad. It's just giving those vibes of like everything is just happening. It's kind of dramatic and sorry, I'm like crying so I'm tired. I guess the main girl is just kind of like outgoing, extroverted in like a kind of intense way. I don't know, I guess there's some parts in the story where the writing just doesn't flow, I guess you could say. Like at some points I'm just like, what is even going on, you know? like right now I'm just like, why does that have to happen? They are like still working on the scavenger hunt. I think they're on clue 4 or 5, and it's like a group of 3 they're doing it. So our main girl, the love interest, and then her like chaperone person. And I do like how they're all together. They each have their distinct personalities, and yeah, it's me, same spot as always. Clearly I don't ever leave my bed. I'm gonna finish the book now, hopefully. No, I definitely have school to be doing right now. I just want to get done with this book. I never do this, but I literally stopped in the middle of a chapter so I could take a nap because I was about to fall asleep while reading. So it's like a group of them who went on this like scavenger hunt thing, and the people that are on the trip are really interesting. There's one guy who is nice, a girl she used to be friends with, and they like kind of have beef, and then a guy, they have major beef. So it's interesting learning about the like side character stories too, and the girl she used to be friends with, I'm really intrigued about her story. What about it? That I'm eating a 4-pack right now. I finished it. I think we're gonna go with a 3-star. It was a cute story and I liked the scavenger hunt aspect of it, but I don't think it's something I'm gonna think about for a while. We'll get more into it in the wrap-up. Okay, our next read, I think we're gonna go with Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a part of the Debutantes series. Obviously, she's a very hyped up author. However, this series is not super hyped up. It has, I think, like 20,000 Goodreads reviews, which is still a lot, but compared to the Inheritance games, which has 500,000, it's pretty underhyped. So we're gonna start it. I'm super excited. I love her books and her writing. Okay, I just read the back, and it's kind of giving Inheritance games. It says, her grandmother showed up at her door and offered her a 6-figure contract to participate in debutante season. All I know about this is it's like mystery-y and rich people drama. I'm confused. What? So I just rewatched the show Wednesday, and it's definitely one of my favorite shows ever. This main girl is kind of reminding me of Wednesday, I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's a little sassy and just like kind of snarky with her comments, and like I've been just like so hyper fixated on like Wednesday's character and just like that show, so this is perfect and I feel like I'm gonna love this. You guys, she's so reminding me of Wednesday. As I said earlier, her grandma comes and like offers her to be a deb. So her grandma just got here. They didn't know each other before. Her grandma said she had an offer for her, and her name's Sawyer, but she walked to the front door and took the sticky note off and showed it to her grandma, and it said no soliciting except for Girl Scout cookies. And then she said she'd gotten kicked out of Girl Scouts during her morbid true crime facts about autopsies phase. So Wednesday. I love it. I'm literally like 40 pages in. I'm liking it. I feel like it's gonna get really good. Curious to see like what these like pictures in it mean. Like this. There's like so many. See? I have an idea that it's like an anonymous like site or something. Okay, hello. Quick little update. It's Wednesday. I'm on page 102 and I figured out like what the things were. At first I was like, why is there ads in the book? No, it's just like, I don't know, 2014 giving quote picture. They're giving like 2014. This palm tree, this one is so giving 2014. Like, I don't know, but I'm liking this book so far. It definitely got a little crazy. I was not expecting what happened and the way it went to happen. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what happens with that little storyline. And we are kind of getting like past and present timelines a little bit. Like, we'll get like a half a page snippet of the present, and then the main story takes place about 9 months in the past. So I'm just curious to see what led to that point, and I'm excited to keep reading. say? I don't have much to say because honestly, like, this book's good and I'm into it, but like nothing really is happening. It's like good, they're just going about their debutante things while Sawyer's trying to find out stuff about her mom, and that part's interesting. I'm definitely interested to learn about like more about her mom's past. It's pretty good. I'm on page 223. Like I said, nothing really crazy's happened. We'll see though. I feel like I'm reading this so slow. Okay, I'm at page 240, and yeah, it just got a little bit more interesting. If we're being so for real, I haven't read in 2 days, but I am going to finish this stupid book today. I have like 100 pages left. It's like good, but I feel like not a lot is happening, whereas her other books are just like jam-packed with twists and everything. I am sitting my butt down to finish this book. I've read 5 other Jennifer Lynn Barnes books, and this one has taken me the longest, and I thought it was gonna be like I was gonna love this series, but I don't know. I'm forcing myself to finish it. Hopefully it gets better, because I don't know, it's just not hitting for me, and all of her other books have been like at least 4 stars. The pacing in this book's a little weird. Like, something will be happening and you'll get like a little bit of the conversation or like what's happening, and then it'll fast forward like 2 weeks, and then the girl will be like, oh my gosh, I'm still thinking about what happened, and then she'll tell you instead of showing you when it was happening. We're starting to get somewhere now. Like, there's stuff happening, and now all of a sudden everyone's working together to achieve something, and it just kind of happened. Like, there was no like build up. It was just like, yeah, let's do this. Well, I finished it. I think we're gonna go with a 3-star for now. Might change it. The ending, I don't know, it kind of fell flat. The whole story was technically the past, and then you got sneak peeks of the present, and how that turned out is kind of a letdown. And at the end, I feel like in a lot of her books she adds like some twist that's like not really necessary and kind of out of pocket, and that happened in this one. I'm definitely kind of disappointed, but we'll talk more in the wrap. So now is the time where we figure out if reading underhyped books is really worth it. Obviously each book's different, there's hidden gems out there. A lot of the time the hyped up books are worth it. I mean, take Fourth Wing for example. It's so popular and it has such a high Goodreads rating. We put it to the test if the underhyped books with thousands and thousands less of reviews than these super popular books are worth it. So let's chat about the books we read. Starting off this week, I picked up Joint Custody by Lauren. That none of you have probably seen this book before, but that's the point. I think this is a solid 3.25 star book. I do think there's a part of me who is forcing myself to like this book because the dog looks so much like my dog, but in reality it was just kind of unrealistic, obviously, since it's told from a dog's perspective, but like at some points it was like the dog was a whole person. Like the way the dog described certain things and like knew certain things, it was like, yeah, there's no way, you know. With that, if it would have just been like a dog's perspective easily like that, you wouldn't have got that much description. It was good and it was entertaining, and I liked how it ended even though it wasn't what I expected. Yeah, I think it's a cute book. I ordered the sequel. I think it's a Christmas one, the sequel, so I'm excited for that, but just like nothing too memorable, unfortunately. And speaking of nothing too memorable, we go into the second book of this video, Love and Great Expectations by Becky Dean. I completely forgot I read this, and I only read it like less than a week ago. The only reason I remembered I read this was when I was getting ready to film this, and I was like, what did I read? And I read this, apparently. This book, it was entertaining and I really liked the idea of it, but something about it I just did not click with. Like the characters, I didn't love them. It was interesting and I loved the idea of it. It also centered around kind of like classic stories and all that, and that is something I have no knowledge in, and I've never read like a classic, so I feel like maybe if you have, you would like this. Yeah, and some parts of it did annoy me a little bit. I don't know, a solid 3-star book. Like, it was good when I was reading it and I liked it, but I literally forgot I read it. And then, you guys, another kind of flop. And then we have Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This was the one I was most excited for in this whole video challenge thing because I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes so much. But this was like a 3-star again, which is still like a good rating. Like, it's not to say I hated the book, but it just wasn't that good. I mean, so the premise of this one is basically this girl Sawyer, she gets put into this new world with like the debutantes and basically the rich people, where she's grown up not like that her whole life, and there's drama, there's like mystery aspects, all that, but it just kind of was boring. Like, there was stuff happening throughout, but none of it was that crazy or interesting. And one thing that kind of annoyed me with this was when something was happening, you'd get like part of the conversation or what happened, whatever, and then it would skip forward and be like, oh, 2 weeks later, and then the main character Sawyer, she'd be like thinking about what happened, and that's how you'd figure out what happened, was her thinking about it after the fact. I'm like, why didn't you just show it when it was happening? And with that, the pacing, it jumped around a lot, and then there was 2 different storylines kind of. One was technically the present, and then the main story was the past, a year ago till the present, and you were trying to figure out how they connected and what led to the present timeline. But that whole thing was super anticlimactic, whatever. And I don't know, it just fell really flat for me. And I guess I did have pretty high expectations. I probably will still read the second one because I bought both because I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So these are all of the books we read, and in conclusion, I don't necessarily believe that if a book has X amount of reviews, it's a bad or good book. Like, obviously, I could read a book with 2 reviews and it'd be my favorite book ever. These are just the books that I had and that sounded the most interesting to me that were underhyped. Obviously, read whatever you want. If someone doesn't like the book, still try it out if it sounds interesting to you. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this just to see, like, because I feel like all of the books I read are like super popular book talk, booktube books, so I wanted to kind of branch off and see if I read books that weren't booktube or book talk popular, they were still favorites. And the challenge may have failed, but it was still fun, and I definitely think that we should read underhyped books because these authors are still putting in the work for the books. They still deserve hype. Definitely check out some of these books or read that book on your shelf that you haven't seen anything about. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.